All right, welcome to another episode of The C.L.I.M.B. This is episode 7. It's a show dedicated to helping singers, songwriters, and indie artists like you create leverage in the music business. In fact, that's what the C.L.I.M.B is. It's an acronym that stands for Creating Leverage in the Music Business. And I want to introduce you to my co-host here, my super creative, super talented Brent Baxter. He's an award-winning hit songwriter. Brent has cuts from artists like Alan Jackson, Randy Travis, Lady Antebellum, Joe Nichols, and more. He also helps songwriters turn pro by teaching the art and the craft of the music business songwriting. And you can find him, if you would like to discuss things further, at manvsrow.com. That's manvsrow.com. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. And I want to introduce y'all to my co-host, Johnny Dwinell. Johnny owns Daredevil Production. It's an innovative artist development company. Not only do they develop and improve your artistry, they also grow and monetize your fan base, creating cash flow. Daredevil's worked with multi-platinum artists such as Colin Ray, Tracy Lawrence, Ty Herndon, and Andy Griggs, just to name a few. You can find Johnny at daredevilproduction.com. That's production, singular, no S. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you.
How are you, brother?
I am good. It's good to be seen.
I'm good. Hey, this is cool, man. This is this first part of this episode, the episode 5, the first part of this week. It's 10 ways to get to a publisher, part 1. We went through the first 5 ways, and we said the unsolicited request was bad. A pro recommendation from a pro songwriter was good, like from NSAI or from Global Songwriters Connection. A personal relationship is good. A business relationship is good, and then a PRO recommendation from a performance rights organization like ASCAP or CSAC or BMI. Those were our first 5. So in this episode 7, we're actually going to cover 6 through 10. And man, you got some clever ways of making this happen. I mean, a lot of it boils down to common sense, guys, like relationship building, trying to become a pro songwriter is any different than if you own a construction company or if you're a super on a construction company and somebody wants to bring their buddy in, you want to know a little bit about him first. Is he crazy? Is he drunk? Is he a drug addict? Is he, is he a white supremacist? Like what I need to know some things about him before I bring him on the job. Does he show up for work? Like,
is he going to steal all the hammers?
It's not just about can he swing a hammer, right? Like we also need to know like what a lot of other things if he's going to fit in. So I want you to pay attention on this episode with Brent here to more the nuances of all that's entailed with becoming a professional. It's like anything else. Like how are you going to fit in part of the team, and are you going to play in the sandbox, et cetera, et cetera. So, Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
I hand the conch to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. So to hear more about the first 5 that Johnny went over, listen to episode 5, and we go in depth on those. And so now we're going to finish out 6 through 10 and get you hooked up. So number 6 is the pitch to publisher event. All right, the pitch to publisher event. So organizations like NSAI, which is Nashville Songwriters Association International, and Global Songwriters Connection have events where their members can play usually just one, and I repeat, one song for a music row publisher. Okay, so you come in, you can do it online, you can do it in person. They have a variety of events. Okay, so just find out if you're a member of those, or some have you pay a la carte for that opportunity. You send your song in online or in person, and then a pro publisher gets to hear it. And if you or your song knock their socks off, all right, it might open a door. Usually they'll be like, oh, I dig this. Can I, I'll keep a copy. It's kind of the win for that night that you hope for. It's like, yeah, oh, they took a copy. And they may just listen again and go, or they may listen and go, yeah, let me email this person and see what else they got, or maybe get a meeting or something. So, and sometimes the song may not even be killer, but man, who sang that? That was you? Okay, yeah, come by, because maybe some of that going on too. But so you don't always have to be in Nashville to participate in these events. So you just want to check out the websites for details. You can go to NashvilleSongwriters.com or GlobalSongwriters.com. But those are a couple of places. I've been toying with the idea of putting one of these together for manvsrow.com. So we'll see. The jury's out on that. It's something maybe down the road I'll put together an opportunity for you to, bring your songs in and for me to bring in a publisher and try to connect the two, but we'll see. that's up in the air at this point, but check back. But yeah, those are great events. It's a way it's a door opener, not a deal closer. It's a way to get on somebody's radar. But yeah, those are good events.
And a way to get some good feedback too. I was actually a panelist on one of those with Amanda Williams.
Yeah.
Music business and songwriter thing, like a year ago, June. And we heard some, a lot of mediocre songwriters. We heard a couple of really good ones, but everybody got really good feedback. Like, hey, look, you need more furniture in your lyrics. You need more specificity. You need more, it's a chance to really get in front of some people and hear what they're thinking and go back home and tweak. And to me, a lot of people are like, yeah, but it costs money. And that's, it's just a hustle for money. Well, it's paid coaching.
Yeah. And some of these with the pitch to publisher events, it's not about feedback. It's they may just say keep, pass. And most of the time they say pass. The other nights are for critiquing. Some are a mix of the two. You'll get feedback and pass or keep. But NSAI, Global Songwriters, those are legit organizations. I'm not going to bring in a charlatan if I start doing it. I'm going to bring in a legit publisher. And so, you do want to consider the source on something like that if you're paying for a workshop for an opportunity, because what they do is they usually, if I were to do it, I pay the publisher to come in. I'm going to pay them for their time, to come in on a Thursday night or a Tuesday night and come in and listen to songs where most likely they're not going to hear something that is going to blow their doors off, but it's providing a service. They understand, what that means to writers, and hey, they may find the diamond. They don't know, but either way, a legit organization usually pays the publisher for their time, but they're going to give you an honest listen regardless. So yeah, anytime you're paying for opportunity, you want to be careful. You want to consider the source, do your homework, make sure it's legit, because there, the places out there that aren't legit. But
that's right. But usually if you got a hit songwriter behind it, you're going to be on the up and up, hopefully. And just think about it from a perspective of, if you're working at a tool and die company and the owner comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I got a guy who wants to come in and just see what it's like to be a tool and die worker. Will you come in later tonight and do it for free? No. That'll be overtime. Okay.
All right. Now, if you're my buddy, I might come and do you a favor, but yeah, but still, if I'm your buddy, I'm going to try to get you paid. Exactly. I don't want to take advantage of you.
For your time. That's right. So, all right. So number 7.
Number 7 is the staff writer co-write, which is probably another episode we'll do at some point. Just how to get those, but that is another way to get in. So it's not easy to get a co-write with a pro writer. Okay, that's pretty obvious. However, if you're able to get one and you write a killer song with that staff writer, their publisher is likely to ask, okay, who's this other person? I don't know this name. Who is this? And if they love what you write with their writer, they'll probably be open to hearing more of your stuff. So, the way I would approach it is if you get the opportunity to write with a pro writer, a published writer, hey, did you play this song for Joe at your publishing company? Yeah, he dug it. He thought it was cool. Great. One thing I want to hear the feedback so I can learn and grow. And I want to know that people liked it. And if that happens a time or two, be like, hey, think it's cool if I reach out to Joe and ask him, if he wants to hear some more stuff. Yeah. Because if that writer's writing with you, they're obviously believing in what you're doing enough to spend time with you, and they can give you a recommendation. They can kind of give you a warm handoff, like, hey, this guy's going to give you a call. Or you may just give a call or ask for the email from that writer and be like, hey, Joe at XYZ publisher, I've written these, blah, 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 and hey now with your writer. And I heard that you dug them. I just have some other stuff. Would love to get some feedback. And that's usually how I would approach it. Like, I just love to, play some stuff for you, see what you think, versus the hard sell. Like, I want to get married. I want to get a publishing deal. It's like, that's too much. Just open the door. Just say, hey, I'd love to,
the one I love, I get one of these emails like about once a week where it's just like, listen, I'll tell you what, because I like you, I'm going to let you listen to my songs. And if you pay for everything, you pay for the demo and you get it in front of an artist, you do everything like that, I'll think about cutting you in on the back end and we'll both become rich. Like, okay. This
person doesn't know how it works. So staff writer co-write. So, that's another way to do it. I know that's not easy, but that is one way in. Okay. So, ready for number 8?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 8 is the industry function. All right. So this is just when you're out somewhere. Okay. You're at a workshop event. You're out at a somebody's Christmas party, you're out at a showcase or a show or something like that, or a writer's night. So you meet a publisher at a writer's night, a workshop or whatever. Just be cool, be patient. Okay. Don't get all excited and shove a CD in their face. Right. Or beg her for a meeting, like right off the bat. That's not the cool way to go about it. So you just want to try and connect on a real way, in a personal level. And you want to make a connection, not just a contact. All right. Because that's going to serve you better in the long run. So there are a lot of crazies out there. Like we've talked about, publishers want to sniff you out for a little while first to make sure that you're not going to, show up in their parking lot with a white unmarked van and a bottle of, chloroform or something and kidnap you, They just want to make sure before they let you into their world that you're, not bringing a whole lot of crazy with you. So you just want to be patient. And because the thing is, it's a numbers game. Most people don't have the goods right now. Most writers don't have the answer to the publisher's problem. And their problem is they need hit songs to get songs on the radio so they can keep their gigs. So they have to be careful about who all they let in, because everybody takes time. But if you're at a function that is an opportunity just to maybe shake a hand, meet somebody, and I know that's hard to do from Timbuktu, but that's an advantage that writers here have that have made the trip to Nashville, is you can be out at these places and bump into people. They start seeing you around. You start seeing them. It's like, hey, how do you? I'm going to tell you that one thing. And next thing you know, you're having a conversation. It's kind of like dating. You don't want to come on too strong at once. You just want to smile, make some small talk, try to find something personal and maybe you have in common, and kind of take it from there. But, take it slow and be persistent, but be patient.
There you go. I like that. Mm-hmm. Create a connection, not a contact. That's
exactly. That's always better to make a connection instead of a contact. So, and see what, if there's something you can do for that person. Because all day long, they got people asking them to do for them. So,
yeah, that's
all right.
I love that I wrote a blog on that about relationships. Like what a friend of mine, Wade Sutton, had the great visual on this. He's like, take the napkin off of your shirt and put it around your arm and see what you can do for them, rather than having them deliver food for you. That's the way to create a relationship, Yeah. I mean, when you find something in common, maybe you are a construction worker. Maybe you're like, hey, man, if you ever need anything done, let me know. I'll be happy to help you. And in common, you need a door frame, you need a little something going on there, and give them a deal or something like that, or if it's a small job, do it for free, just to say, hey, but in return, check out, I want you to listen to a couple more songs, after you get to know them, you say that.
After you get to know them, right. Yeah. But, and also, even if it's not kind of a commerce type thing, like if you're, a music publisher and you see somebody out and they got Packers gear on, you're automatically going to like, I like that person already, because you're a cheesehead, man. So if they come up and you can talk about that and make that connection, right? That's going to be a personal connection. You're automatically just going to start vibing with this person, because and it's not even about the music. There's not that kind of pressure. You're just connecting as Packers fans, right? Yeah. Or whatever. People that love to fish or whatever it is.
Dog lovers or cat
dog lovers or like, dude, those are cool boots. I was at a radio interview a couple of weeks ago, and the guest after me was Paul McDonald, who was on American Idol. And so he was getting interviewed after me. So we're just chatting in between, and he was like, man, I like your boots. I'm like, I like your boots, which was kind of a girly conversation, but it was cool because we're dudes. But, we just started talking about just stuff that had nothing really to do with music, just having just a nice little conversation. And that's where you want to get to. So anyway, so that's industry function. So moving on. Number 9 is get a major cut. That kind of sounds almost like putting the cart before the horse, but that's kind of how it happened for me. So yeah, I didn't say all these were easy, but hey, these are different ways. All right. So I wasn't getting much publisher love until I got and owned the publishing on the Alan Jackson cut on Monday Morning Church. So I'd been playing for a couple publishers here and there, people I'd met through Blue Water, through my professional relationships and here and there. But man, when word started getting out that I had a major cut, all of a sudden people started returning my calls. They started, calling back the number that was on the comps. They wanted to talk to me because I had buzz. I had something going on. They're like, who is this guy? He just had an Alan Jackson cut. I'm going to talk to him and maybe take his publishing. So, it opened a lot of doors for me. So if you can leverage, and even on a smaller scale, if you can leverage independent cuts or album cuts or whatever to kind of put in your, just in your your branding, what's going on with you. Hey, yeah, touched by so-and-so and so-and-so, getting some action here and there. Okay, that speaks to some sort of level of professionalism that you must know something about what's going on. You're getting some activity, even if it's not a artist at the level of Alan Jackson. But for me, it was a major cut, and that opened a lot of doors, and helped open the door to that first publishing deal as well. So I think CDs are easy, but
but you know what? On that note, like, it's about marquee value.
Mm-hmm.
What happens, and and the way this works, and this is really important too, is there are probably a million writers that have this exact same story. Like, I was in this town for 15 years and nobody knew my name, and I got one cut, and all of a sudden I'm the most popular guy in town. Well, knowing that that's the way that it works, right? Because there's and it's not fair or unfair. It's just there's now social proof that your art has value in the industry. Mm-hmm. That's what it is, Well, and it could be a good song. You could have a ton of great songs this year. They could be all knock down, drag out, smash hit ballads, and nobody's going to care because nobody's cutting ballads right now, right? And it's not the trend. And so it's for me, and what I try to encourage our artists, as well as the writers that we work with, is that make sure you're covered. Like, make sure that every couple months you're saving up some money. You're cutting a demo. You've got a good demo, because I love that. This is a whole nother podcast. But what if they say yes? What if somebody comes out of it and says, "Yeah, Alan Jackson wants to cut your song"? Great, and it goes to number 5. Awesome. And if you don't have any other songs because you didn't write them, because you thought, I'm just going to stick my toe in the water and see what this song does, and it happens, now you're screwed. You know what I mean? Now you're behind the 8 ball, and you don't have, 50 other songs to show them to try to take advantage of a little bit of that heat while the sun is shining. Because certainly there's a lot of artists who idolize Alan Jackson, and they would love to work with a writer that got a cut on Alan Jackson and put that on their record. Right. Guns N' Roses signed to Geffen Records only because Aerosmith was signed to Geffen Records. That's the only freaking reason. They had 4 labels that wanted them. I mean, it's that, but artists think like that. And that's real. So you've got to make sure your guns are loaded when you get that first hit, that you can go and take care of business,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And because there's so many people knocking on publishers' doors, just mathematically, the laws of time and space prevent them from meeting with everyone that wants to meet with them. It just can't. All right. Yep. And so really what all these 10 things are just ways of filtering out the stuff that's most likely not ready yet. And they're going to filter out stuff that is ready, but you just can't let everything in.
Statistically, it's trying to filter stuff that's not ready, and that's a fact.
Exactly. And trying to these filters to try and let in what has a better chance of being something that's going to solve their problems, right? So that's what all this is just ways of filtering out and filtering in the best stuff.
And do you have any songwriting friends, Brent? You've got a lot of them. Do you have any songwriting friends who only wrote like 3 songs in their life? And they all got cuts, and then they're just working on the next song?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's a way of life, man.
That's not how a pro does it. So you might, for some reason, like, even if you wrote with somebody that went on to, go to Nashville and get a song cut or whatever, that doesn't give you a career. That maybe give you one big old blessing if you happen to get a song cut through your co-writer's efforts, but that sure doesn't give you a carear. It gives you something to talk about as you go back to work next week.
And a lost opportunity because you didn't have preparation when it came to meet up with the opportunity, which is the equation of luck. So, all right, number 10,
last one. All right. A way to get to the music publisher is to have artist buzz. Okay. So the value of the writer artist has really skyrocketed over the past couple of years. So if you're getting buzz around town as a potential artist, that goes a long way toward getting a publisher's attention, because publishers are doing a lot of the artist grooming and the artist development these days. So even if you aren't a great writer, they know, hey, we have other great writers on staff. We know other writers in other companies we can hook you up with to help groom you and develop you. If you got the killer live show, the great, voice and all this other stuff, and the drive, we think you got the look, all that stuff. We think you got the package. We think we can bring you along. We'll basically develop you. And then what we'll do is we'll have you write a lot of songs on your record. We'll hook you up. We'll help you write the hits. And therefore we get the back end on, on the publishing, on the songs that you'll cut with your deal. And then some publishers are even doing their own indie labels and getting out there and selling some product and, getting their the writer artist on the road and starting to build the business to get a major label's attention. And that's what started to happen. I mean, Florida Georgia Line was on Big Loud Mountain before they were on Big Machine. And that was Craig Wiseman and Big Loud Shirts publishing companies record label branch. You know, they'd been out doing shows, they got on there, and it was a medium step, and the whole point was to upstream them to a major, and it worked. So if you get some good artist buzz, labels are, I mean, I send out copy. If you follow me on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, I send out when people are getting signed to publishing deals and stuff, because I like to share that. It's like, hey, people are actually getting publishing deals. It seems like 9 out of 10 of them have a slash. It's like artist / writer or producer writer, something like that. There are very few that are just like, he's a writer. There's not that many of them. So the artist buzz is a big deal right now. So, and you know, that's our 10. And I know right now you might be more frustrated than you were at the beginning of episode 5 when we started. But you know, nobody said it was easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. I just don't know of any path to a publisher that's quick and easy outside of like just dumb luck, or you just your brother happens to be in the business or whatever, you know, but luck is not a strategy. So, but you know what to say, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
That's true. You create your own opportunities, you know, and you learn how to take advantage of them, because there's always a couple blown opportunities on the way that open your eyes, you know. So number 6, to recap, was pitch to the publisher event, which are events that you can go to where you actually get to get one song played in front of a publisher. You get a pass or a yes or
pass
no.
Or keep, or I'd like to keep it and hear it again, or keep and who knows what. But
Number 7 is the staff writer co-write, which is really good. Number 8 is the industry function. And when you're at an industry function, a party, something like that, the stress there, make the connection, not a contact. Don't just come give them your card, talk to them about something, get to know them a little bit, you know, because show up on their radars, go, yeah, you're the guy that liked the Packers. I remember you. Yeah. You know, you're the guy that liked Great Danes. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Number 9, not the easiest thing in the world, but get a major cut, and everybody's going to take a phone call after that, you know. And then number 10, have artist buzz, be a good artist too. And people are you know, buzzing about you as an artist. You're going to have a lot easier time getting to a publisher and getting a publishing deal. We're working with one artist right now that has that just signed a pub deal, an amazing singer, 16 years old. Just signed a publishing deal because of that artist kind of buzz. So that's proof positive. And number 10 is a way to make it work. So these are fantastic points. If you want to review, if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. If you have some stuff you'd like Brent or I to discuss, please put those remarks below and let us know what you think. And share this. Let other people know. If it was valuable to you, share it. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you know, please leave a review on iTunes and let everybody know that it was worth the 23 minutes or whatever. And having said that, that's not all. Wait, Brent Baxter also doubles as Santa Claus. He is an author, and he gives his work away. Brent, tell him a little bit about this amazing book. This is a wealth of information that you're charging absolutely zero for.
Zero. Yep, that's right. I have a free ebook called Think Like a Pro Songwriter, and it's just a collection of thoughts on the music business and how to think like a pro songwriter, and how I try to think about things and go about business. It goes over this, you know, have 10 ways to get to a music publisher. It also talks about the ways that pro songwriters know who is looking for cuts, how we find out who's actually looking for songs that hopefully will record ours, and a bunch of other stuff too. So you can get that at giftfrombrent.com. That's giftfrombrent.com. So just tell me where to send it. We'll send it on to you, and it's absolutely free. But I'm not the only one with the book. Johnny, you have one that is a bestseller. That's right. It's called Music Marketing on Twitter. It is a bestseller, but we give it away for free, and it will demystify Twitter for you. Twitter's an amazing marketing tool where you can find the most targeted audiences. And if you know how to use Twitter and how to interact, you can create real relationships that you can ultimately monetize with. So it's hugely important. And we will show you in that book, first of all, how Twitter works, the etiquette, the do's and don'ts, and secondly, how to gain 1,000 loyal targeted followers every single month and just spend 15 minutes a day doing it. So
that stuff you can do like in downtime, and make it real easy. So you can get that at giftfromjohnny.com. That's giftfromjohnny.com. And just as with Brent's book, just tell us where to send it and we'll get it out to you. And then we'll begin to create a relationship that way as well. So having said that, that concludes episode 7 of The Climb, Creating Leverage in the Music Business. Once again, thank you, Mr. Brent Baxter, hit songwriter. My name is Johnny Dwinell, and we'll see you at the top.
Take care. Have a good one.